And now, today's adventure of Outer Scope 2, the Peking Clue.
Never saw Sailor Bill.
Mr. Cuffy remembers a lot about Sailor Bill when he was with the Shinnecocks, but it doesn't sound like very good news.
What happened?
Sailor Bill was on a vessel headed home, but some of the crew members attacked him, trying to get the gold medallion. There was a fight, and he was thrown overboard.
Oh, no! Don't tell me he died at sea, halfway around the world.
Gee, I hate to say it, but I think...
But you're absolutely right. No clues, no medallion, no Willie and Henry. We've hit a dead end. What do we do now?
We're out of clues. Might as well give up.
It sure looks that way.
Not so fast, you guys. That's the wrong attitude. Wendy!
Oh, hi, Wendy.
Hi, kids. Hi, Mr. Cuffy. This is my history teacher, Mr. Holmes. He wants to learn about our history so he could teach it in class. And I thought he could begin right here with the gold medallion story.
Hi, how are you? Well, pleased to meet you. But I'm afraid we've arrived at a dead end.
But maybe there's something else. Some other clue that might help.
Right. Apparently, Bill Topper died at sea, all the way over in China. But maybe he gave the medallion to someone first.
Or maybe he didn't die. Mr. Cuffy, can you think of anything else?
One thing which my grandfather repeated whenever he told the tale.
What was that?
The name of the ship Sailor Bill was on at the time. The ship was called the Peking.
The Peking?
Yes. Do you know it?
Well, now, it may not be the same ship, but the odds of two old sailing ships like that having the same name are quite remote.
You know about
What about it, Mr. Holmes? Can you tell us something about it?
Better than that, Wendy. I know where it is.
You mean it still exists?
You're kidding. Where is it?
Well, New York Harbor.
New York
There's
Harbor.
an old ship berthed there called the Peking. The ship's log is still there, and it's open to the public.
We've got to read that log for a clue to what may have happened back then.
You're right, Cynthia.
Great. There may be something in the log, or maybe somewhere else aboard the ship that may be helpful.
That's it. That's our next stop.
Boy, this is really getting exciting.
You kids might just find that medallion. Hey, before you go, you've got to watch the Thunderbird American Indian Dancers. They're going to put on quite a show.
Yeah, I want to watch this, too. I didn't even know this was going on.
Oh, yes, and everybody knows when the Thunderbird Dancers are going to perform. It's a regular event. Can you kids stay?
Yes, sir.
Hey, sure.
Come on, let's go.
Okay. This is terrific. Wendy, can you dance like this too?
Oh, sure. I first came here when I was only 2 years old, all dressed up, just like these people here. But I didn't really learn the dances till I was 5.
Now, you see, the public has been invited because this festival is a social affair. But most traditional dances are religious events, and they are private.
My friends and I, we like to dance to other music too. You know, the kind you hear on the radio. But this kind of dancing is special. It's traditional. Something that everybody in the community can join in on.
Wendy, it's getting late. I think we better be going.
Okay, I'll come with you.
Oh, you don't have to.
That's okay. I'll be back before the dance is over. Besides, you may need some help finding the otoscope.
No sweat, Wendy. I'll be able to find it easy.
Maybe, Edgar, but if you don't mind, let's let Wendy help us.
I'll meet you girls back at the ship.
Why did Edgar run off like that?
You've got to understand Edgar, Wendy.
Yeah, he always tries to overprotect us and show us how good and competent he is.
Right. He means well. Like right now, he's looking for the ship to prove he can find it without help from anybody, especially a girl.
Oh, I see. But I like the way you stick up for each other and help one another. And I'd really like to thank you for helping me with my school problem.
That's okay, Wendy. We were glad to.
Well, there she is, safe and sound.
Great!
I wonder if Edgar is hiding inside.
Well, let's go find out. Wendy, could we ask you one more favor?
Sure, what is it?
Could you please be on the lookout for Henry and Willie? And if they show up, could you tell them where we went?
Okay.
Well, I guess it's goodbye.
Thanks again, Wendy.
Sure, and all of you know how grateful I am.
Eleanor, Wendy, Edgar's not here. He must have gotten lost.
Next time, Willie and Henry make a discovery.
And now for the big job hunt. Starring Max the Marvelous Machine and that villainous varmint, Long John Spoilsport.
Long John Spoilsport is my name. Sabotaging the job hunt is my game. All of you out there who are playing along will soon be singing a very sad song. So here we go, my fine feathered friend. You'll see a lot of my rottenness before this show ends.
And now the host of our show, Sue Taylor.
Kids, welcome to the Big Job Hunt. Our contestants today will be from school 2. And from the Martin Luther King School. Now let's pick today.
I've got a question.
I know you have hundreds of them,
Not those kind, a real one. A question from the soul of Max.
Okay, Max. What is it?
I come from a good family. I had a fine education. What am I doing here, wasting my life, worrying about a creep like Long John Spoilsport?
Max, you can't let the spoil sports of the world get you so depressed.
You may be right. But I'm going to ask my agent to find me another gig.
Please reconsider, Max. Don't be so hasty.
I don't know. We'll see.
We're glad to have you with us. Now, will each of you tell us your name and what you would like to do when you grow up? Schools 2, start first, please, starting with you, Karen.
My name is Karen Tucker, and when I grow up, I want to be a librarian.
A librarian, and how about you, James?
My name is James Cooper, and when I grow up, I want to be a movie star.
A movie star. How about you, Robert?
My name is Robert Delaney. When I grow up, I want to be a pilot.
A pilot. Thank you very much. Now let's hear from the Martin Luther King School. Corey?
My name is Corey Lyons. I want to be a nurse.
A nurse. And how about you, Deirdre?
My name is Deidre Howard, and I want to be a singer.
A singer? And you, William?
My name is William Morales. When I grow up, I want to be a lawyer.
A lawyer? Thank you very much. Now, contestants, please listen carefully to the rules of the game. The object of the game is to guess the mystery job. Max will pick the category and the questions. Questions are worth points. At the end of the round, the team with the most points gets the chance to see a clue and to guess the mystery job. Now, for you kids who are playing at home, I've got a word of warning. Watch out for Long John Spoilsport. He'll be up to his old and dirty tricks, hard at his habit of trying to confuse you. So watch out. Now for round 1. Max, pick us a category, please. Get ready, teams. The category is sports. Thanks, Max.
You're welcome.
This question is worth 10 points. Pele is best known as a Hands off the buzzer.
Deidre.
Yes, Deirdre.
A soccer player.
That's right. The answer was C, a soccer player. And you now have 10 points. Now let's move right along to our second question. Max, pick us a category, please.
I just talked to my agent.
What did he say?
He offered me a job in Denver.
What kind of job, Max?
Would you believe a parking meter?
A parking meter. I think Max has flipped his gears. Ready, teams?
Yes.
The category is the arts. Thank you, Max. This question is worth 10 points. Comedian, humorist, actor and radio announcer of Native American heritage, this star once quipped, "My ancestors didn't come over on the Mayflower, they met the boat." He was A, J. Silverheels, B, Will Rogers, C, Red Cloud, or D, Rolling Thunder. Hands off the buzzer, yes, Deirdre.
Rolling Cloud or...
Excuse me?
What's his name, Rolling Cloud?
Yes. I'm sorry, that is not the right answer. The answer was B, Bill Rogers. But the score is Martin Luther King School 10 points to School 2's no points. Okay, Max, and now for some more questions.
I'm going to Denver. I don't care what you all say. I've made up my mind.
This is Kronos, my monstrous machine. Ugly as sin and twice as mean. He'll put that Max to shame. Spoilsport will now control this game. Yeah.
Max, you can't leave us with that terrible Cronus.
That's your problem. I've had it. Let's get the show rolling. I've got to catch a plane.
Okay, Max. Please give me the question. Thank you.
Think nothing of it.
Now, panelists, I'm going to ask you 5 true and false questions. Each question is worth 5 points. The first question is, number 1, a black man was one of the 4 men who completed the first trip by Europeans across what would become the United States. So yes, Deirdre.
False.
I'm sorry, it's true. Esteban, in 1536, a black Moorish slave, was one of the 4 Spaniards who trekked across the southern United States and Mexico. Number 2, Jose Feliciano is a singer, musician. Hands off the buzzer, yes, Corey.
Singer.
Is it true or false?
True.
That's right, Jose Feliciano is a composer, too. Number 3, a lyricist is a person who writes words to music. Hands off the buzzer, yes, Karen.
True.
That's right, a lyricist writes words to songs. Number 4, Charles Drew, a black American, pioneered in the development of blood plasma. Hands off the buzzer, yes, Karen.
False.
I'm sorry, it's true. He lived from 1904 to 1950. And the 5th and last question, biology is the study of animal life. Hands off the buzzer, yes, James.
False.
Sorry, it's true. Biology is the study of animal life. But the score is Martin Luther King School 15 points to School 2's 5 points. Martin Luther King School, you are ahead with 15 points, so you get the first crack at today's mystery job. Keep your eyes on Max's eye. Okay, Max, show us the clue. Okay, panelists, remember you can talk it over with your teammates before answering, but you have 10 seconds to name the mystery job. Start the countdown, Max.
Watch now, Kronos, and you'll see how out to lunch these kids can be.
Hands off the buzzer, yes, Deirdre.
A truck drivers?
A truck driver? Sorry, that is not the answer.
I don't like that Kronos a bit.
I'm sure you don't, Max, but like him or not, he's going to be your replacement.
Okay.
Now teams are going to move into our second and final round, the super bonus question. This question is worth 50 points. The team that gets this right wins the next chance to see a clue and to name the mystery job. Okay, teams, are you ready?
Yes.
Let's have the question, Max. The category is history. Thanks, Max. The Great Wall of China was built during the Qin Dynasty to A, keep the people of China from traveling, B, keep northern tribes out of China, C, provide work for the people, or D, to divide the country in half. Hands off the buzzer. Yes, James.
It's C.
B.
Excuse me?
B.
B? That is right. The answer is B. Keep northern tribes out of China. The score is now Martin Luther King School 15 points to School 2's 55 points. Okay, School 2, this is your chance to see a clue and name the mystery job. Remember, if you guess incorrectly, Martin Luther King School will get the last opportunity to see the clue and to name the job. Okay, Max, let's see it. Okay, panelists, remember you can talk it over with your teammates before answering, but you have 10 seconds to name the mystery job. Start the countdown, Max. Yes, James. Hands off buzzer.
Farmhand.
A farmhand? What do you mean by a farmhand?
Like a ranch, herder.
Congratulations, you won the big job hunt, School 2. Isn't that terrific, Max?
It sure is. You know, Sue, maybe this job isn't so bad after all.
You mean you'll stay?
At least for a while. That Kronos would give us machines such a terrible image.
Why are you smiling, low-down quirk? You promised you would find me work.
Ouch! Oh, no, no. Oh, no, oh, no. Ow, 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 ow. Oh, no, no.
Nya, ha, ha.
Good riddance to that pair. Now, as you'll see in this film, life is very different for a real-life rancher like Alex Dees than for a movie cowboy. Mr. Dees is very proud of the cattle he raises, a new breed which he helped develop called the Brangus. Okay, Max, show us the film.
My name is Alex Dees, and my grandfather came to this part of the country from Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1923. And my dad came out here and they homesteaded. And as it stands now, that my brothers and I, we own this ranch. We raise Brangus cattle here. These cattle are a little high-strung, and some of these cows will attack you when they have this small calves because they are protecting that baby calf, which is good. You want to protect the calf, keep the coyotes and dogs and stuff away from your calf. I was fortunate enough to have developed in this fine breed. This is a Brangus bull. He's 24 months old, and It weighs for approximately 1,700 pounds. Driving along from the road looking over the herd, I can detect any problem amongst my cattle. Hello, is Dr. Walker in? This is Dr. Bruce Walker, which is our veterinarian. Dr. Walker is the ones that certify all our papers to get into shows and also into sales. These bulls that we are working today are bulls that getting ready for our sale in Tucson this week. We built this herd from $0. So we have won several grand champion awards throughout the country, and we have been competing against millionaires. Go get him! Get on top of him, Ray! My two sons and I enjoy team roping. That's taking the steer, catching the head, and the other person catching the heel. This is my wife, Phyllis, and my daughter, Cynthia, and my youngest son, Keith, which is going to be a while before I'll be able to get him started roping. When my kids grew up, I hoped, like all parents, that they would be interested in Brangus. But, on the other hand, I think that they should pick out some field that they like and really going to put their heart in, regardless whether it's raising Brangus or sitting in the office, whatever they do, I encourage them to be the best. I really, truly enjoy working, developing Brangus cattle. This is what I do, and this is what I live.
It's award time here on the Big Job Hunt, and the grand prize, the Max Trophy, goes to School 2. And to our fine runners-up, the Martin Luther King School, here's our consolation prize, the Mini Max Trophy. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you next time right here on the Big Job Hunt.
I'll be back, you wait and see, bringing a bag full of badness with me. Nya-ha-ha.
Hi, it's Woody. I've been thinking a lot. How do people decide what goes into their pot? One thing is money and what it can buy. You know, the cost of food can soar to the sky. But what you can afford is only a part, because with imagination, cooking's an art.
Everyone here likes barbecue spare ribs, right?
Yep.
Okay, one of the first things we're going to have to do is cut the spare ribs smaller.
Do you cut it 2 at a time?
No, we're going to cut them one by one wherever we can fit the knife into a little slit. Just kind of work it down. Let me start this one here. This is a fleshy one.
How come I don't see no bones?
Well, there's bones further on down. Okay.
Are you going to cut the fat?
Yeah, we're going to cut the fat. Okay. Now let's start it. Watch your hands. Pat and I are going to take these over to the sink. We'll leave Sabrina, you, and Gregory here to cut the rest of these. Okay?
Yeah.
And all you're going to do, Patrick, is kind of just run it under and just kind of rub it. Make sure you're getting off any kind of grit that may be in there from the store. And then just kind of wipe it off. Just damp.
Soul food takes an equal share from Southern style and African flair. And it's really exciting when two cultures blend, because you get something special in the end.
Okay, trichinosis. How many of you ever heard of the word trichinosis?
Me.
It's a disease that pigs carry in their meat. It's a little worm. So when you cook pork, you got to make sure you cook it well done so that you don't pass the trichinosis off from the meat to yourself. So we're going to make sure that we clean it, that we scrub it, make sure we cook it for a long enough time. And we've gotten most of the excess fat, put it on about 375 for at least an hour. Now, this comes what they say separating the cooks from the cooks, the sauce. We're going to start first with some basic sauce, usually for spare ribs is tomato sauce and vinegar and some spices. Start opening a can of tomato sauce for us. One of the ingredients of this sauce is vinegar.
How come it's vinegar?
It cuts the taste of the tomatoes. So let's see, we'll put about, I'm going to put a 1/4 cup of vinegar in there. Okay. All right, how about the other can, too? Put that in there.
And this in here.
Put that in there. Okay. Okay, Pat. We're going to put about 4 tablespoons of brown sugar in there. The basic sauce, whoa, not heaping. Let's see if you can kind of even them off before you pour it in. Yeah, that's a good one. That's kind of good. All right. I like my sauce to be a little bit tangy, hot and sweet. This is called a secret ingredient. A 1/4 teaspoon of ginger in there. You gotta be careful because ginger is a hot spice. Measure out about 1/4 of our hot sauce. But I'm not gonna make it too hot because I want everyone to enjoy it, okay?
Okay.
Have you wondered how it came to be that ribs became a soul food specialty? Well, in the South, when things were tough, blacks made do when there wasn't enough. They took the foods that cost the least and with style and flair made a soul food feast.
Okay. Back in the oven for a few minutes. Here they are. How's that sauce smell?
Smells good.
How about it, Patrick?
Yeah, smells very good.
We're gonna do this the real way. Finger licking kind of way. Not bad, if I do say so myself.
Well, we cooked the food and it came out fine. You can try it yourself when you got the time. Because working in the kitchen is a lot of fun. And when you're finished, you can eat what you've done.
Come on along, enjoy our delicious hits in a little bowl of vegetable soup. Get right along, enjoy vegetable soup. Delicious hits. Get right in on a holiday. Get right along, come on and right around. Get right into the vegetable soup. All kinds of vegetables. All kinds of vegetables. All kinds of vegetables. To make a vegetable soup. Come on along, enjoy now delicious hits. Come on along, we're gonna have some fun. Come on along, enjoy now delicious hits in a little bowl of vegetable soup. Get right along, enjoy vegetable soup. Delicious hits. Get right in on a holiday. Get right along, come on and right us around. Get right into the vegetable soup. All kinds of vegetables. All kinds of vegetables. All kinds of vegetables. To make a vegetable soup.
And now, today's adventure of Outer Scope 2. Willie and Henry make a discovery. It's time for the kids to say goodbye to Wendy and fly off in search of an old sailing ship, the Peking. It's the only clue they've got to the gold medallion.
Well, I guess it's goodbye.
Thanks again, Wendy.
Sure, and all of you know how grateful I am.
Eleanor, Wendy, Edgar's not here. He must have gotten lost.
Oh, no, not Edgar, too. If he's lost, I'll quit. The medallion isn't worth all this.
Wait, Eleanor, he can't be that far off. He's probably just a little confused. You two work on getting the ship started. I'll look for him.
Oh, where is he?
Wendy's right. We might as well start it. It takes a while to warm it up.
Yeah, good idea.
Aha! I told you I could find it without any help.
Thank goodness. Hurry up, Edgar. Let's get going.
Nice work, Edgar. You all take care. Come back and see me if you ever get a chance.
Sure thing, Wendy. Bye.
Hello, Edgar. Nice to see you. We're ready for blast-off.
Bye-bye, Wendy. Bye, Eleanor, Cynthia, Edgar.
Boy, I can hardly wait to see that ship.
Me too. Wow, that's really something. Peg King's still around after all this time?
Yeah, but maybe it's not the same ship.
Sure it's the same ship, Cynthia. And I bet we find that medallion, too.
But if it were that easy, Edgar, wouldn't the medallion be long gone by now? After all that time, it probably is.
Oh, please don't say that, Cynthia. It might not be gone. After all, the map and the diary were hidden for a long time.
Sure, but if Sailor Bill died at sea, the odds are the medallion went down with him.
Well, maybe he didn't drown when he went overboard.
That seems like a long shot. You know, in the middle of the ocean and all. Well, we'll just have to wait and see what the Pig King can tell us.
Boy, it sure smells nice around here.
Well, that's because the apples in this orchard are getting ripe. Look, some of them have already started to fall off the trees.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Hey, can I have another look at that map?
Oh, yeah, sure.
You see them, Bob?
Yeah, they're still there.
I know they're there, but what are they doing?
Nothing. They're just looking at the map still.
Oh, no!
Calm down, calm down.
Willie, look! There's writing on the back of the map.
There is? Let me see.
What's it say, Willie?
Well, let's see. The minute I signed aboard to be king, Don King and his two unruly friends noticed the medallion under my shirt and started to pester me about it. I knew then my life was in danger and the safety of the medallion at stake. It was lucky that Chun-Li had signed aboard too. I knew he was my friend. I took the medallion off the chain and gave it to him in a handkerchief. He said he would hold it in trust for me until I could reclaim it. With the chain still around my neck, I slipped up on deck. I was prepared when the attack came. We struggled intensely. We hit the water together, but when I surfaced, he was nowhere around. It was only a matter of hours before a passing Chinese chunk heard my cries and rescued me.
What a close call.
Yeah, I'll say.
I wonder if he ever saw Chun-Li again.
Oh, I don't know, Henry. Let's see.
I don't know. This sounds like a wild goose chase to me.
You wouldn't know a wild goose if it came up and bit you.
I would.
Let a chance they are cashing in some real dough.
Yeah, but they said the thing's somewhere in China.
Shh. Listen.
Listen to this, Henry. The first ship from China heading back east was Mexican-owned. By the time we got to Mexico, I knew the language quite well and loved the people even more. But there I was in Mexico, without the medallion. I knew Chun-Li would keep it safe, but would I ever find him?
Mexico. Oh, heck, we might as well forget about it.
Oh, brother, Mexico. That's almost as far as China, right?
Well, not quite, but it's still quite a ways away.
I mean, this map isn't going to tell us anything about where the medallion is.
I told you it was a wild goose chase.
I told you it was a wild goose chase.
Let's go steal something.
Yeah, that'll make us feel better.
You sure that's all, Willie?
That's all the writing, Henry. But there's something here better than anything we could ever hope for.
Oh, what's that?
It's a drawing. A good sketch of what the medallion looks like.
Let me see. Wow. But what good does it do us? Your great-grandfather Sailor Billy's in Mexico, and Chun-Li, whoever he is, has the medallion.
Well, I guess you're right, Henry. It does seem kind of hopeless. Still, I get a feeling that this picture's gonna come in handy.
Looks like it's gonna clear up, Adele. Let's go look at that North Orchard.
Okay, Dad.
Next time, Careja and Daughter.
What do you want to know about yourself?
Here it comes, kids. The most authentic, super detailed rescue boat you've ever seen. It's real life's latest, the Ranger Rescue. And it's just loaded with super features. An actual operating radar scope lets you spot ships in distress. Then just fire up the twin engines and watch it go. It turns, it backs up, it even has a real working siren. Remember, it's by real life, so you know it's for real. The new Ranger Rescue, available now at your favorite toy or hobby shop.
Dad, can I have a Ranger Rescue?
The new Ranger Rescue is available now at your favorite toy or hobby shop. Get yours.
Mom, can I have a Ranger Rescue boat? Please?
Here you go. Have fun.
Nice to have you back with us again. Where Martin went, he took you to school, out camping, or the zoo. Martin's mom and dad helped to pull you through all the things that you and Martin had to do to prove to your friends and to all the rest that snake or boy being different can be best. Nigel, you're Martin's friend. But sometimes close friendships have to end. Now they're grown, both boy and snake. And Martin has a choice he has to make.
My name is Martin. I've come to see my friend Scott, who's in charge at the zoo, to talk to him about my pet boa. Nigel, Scott has some new helpers. One of them is a boy I know, Eddie.
I told you. As soon as I know as much about snakes as you guys, my mom's gonna get me one.
You'll be ready soon. I wonder if his mom will. Scott, I'm trying to tell you I need a snake sitter right away.
Snake sitter?
Yeah, I just found out we're going to Switzerland for 2 weeks. I need someone to leave Nigel with. He's shedding and he's in a rotten mood. Do you think you could keep him here?
Well, I'd have to get permission from the director.
I bet I could keep him if my mother would let me.
Oh, no, man. You're not ready for a shedding yet, and your mother wouldn't appreciate a quick decision. Let me think, Martin.
Hey, Scott. I really think that Gary and I could be pretty good snake sitters, don't you?
Of course. What's the matter with me? Martin, meet Larry and Gary Brody.
Hi. Hi.
They're probably as knowledgeable about snakes as I am.
Oh, come on, Scott. That's impossible.
No, really. They have a great collection of snakes in their basement, and it's like a small zoo down there.
Well, it's just a hobby, but we do spend a lot of time on it. And money. Everything we make goes into our collection. Would you like to see it? Yeah, that would be great. Of course I'd pay you. What's a good snake sitting fee, Scott?
Hey, don't get me involved in it. I know you guys can work it out.
Nigel's on his way to the sitter's place, where he'll join some cousins in a tiny space. Martin feels uneasy in this part of town. He should know the Brody twins won't let him down. So where's your name?
Oh, don't bother trying to find that. The kids around here only mess it up. The mailman knows where we are. Why don't you come on in?
Okay. Good. Oh.
Hey, Gary, what's up,
Gary,
man?
how you doing? Wow, I've never seen one like that.
Yeah, it's an Indian python. It's 11 feet long.
Outrageous snake, man.
Hey, you got taste, man. All right.
Hey, get down to business.
Nigel, Nigel, look around at the snake collection living underground.
Just take the bottom out.
Nigel, you'll just love it here.
Best cage in the house, just for Nigel.
'Cause it's warm and dark and lots of friends are near.
Got some instructions here for you.
What's the matter? You didn't trust us?
Don't you know all snake sitters get instructions?
Oh. It's cold in here. Man, where's the heat? What happened? I just woke up. I don't know. Well, if it's this cold in the basement, we better go get some blankets. You better believe it. Gary, the snakes need 70 degrees. It's time to start worrying. Yeah. This one heater won't do it alone. Maybe we ought to buy a couple more tomorrow. With what? You know we don't get paid till Friday. Ma doesn't have it. Look, Larry, we took Nigel on as our responsibility. Okay. You know we have to save these snakes, so let's start putting blankets over them. Did you get the one from my room? Yeah.
Look, Mrs. Brody, I'm doing the very best I can. With the amount of money I get out of here in this low rents, you expect me to perform miracles? You'll just have to take what's going on.
But, Mr. Taylor, you can't expect us to freeze to death. Can we help it if that furnace is so old that it breaks down?
Look, I call a guy to come in and repair it. He's got other jobs. When he gets them done, he's going to do this one. Look, I'm a busy man. I got you a repairman to fix the place, and that's all I'm going to say about it.
What are we going to do? We've got to do something.
I've got to call Scott. This time he's got to take the snakes in. Well, tell the director that it's an emergency.
Right, Scott. Maybe he will do something to help us. He's told me over and over again how much you guys have helped at the zoo. Hey, we might be able to get some publicity out of this. And Mr. Taylor hates publicity.
Hey, no pictures, no pictures. Hey, no pictures. Come on, boys, you don't have to take the snakes. Well, I'm going to get you heat tonight. Why do you bother these nice people at the zoo? I'm going to give you heat tonight for sure.
Didn't want to take that chance.
Let's go, guys. The director wants to talk to.
So how did it go?
Nigel's fine. Everybody loves him.
Everybody?
And everybody stops at his aquarium to see him.
How does everyone get down in your basement?
Well, that's what I wanted to tell you. He's not in my basement anymore.
Where is he?
He's at the Crystal Park Zoo with Scott, but he's safe.
That's good. But why?
Well, you see, I had a little trouble with the heat in my house. The landlord's dragging his feet about fixing the furnace, so I called Scott, and we took the animals to the zoo. Hey, I'm really sorry about what happened with the scare and everything.
That's okay.
It was the only thing we could do. Yeah? Hey, Scout, thanks for coming through, man.
Well, you know, Larry and Gary would rather kill themselves than neglect Nigel.
Yeah, well, I never doubted him for a moment. Thanks a lot. Hey, so where's Nigel? Where is he?
Oh, sorry. I just took him out so we can get a little extra sun.
So he did shed. He looks great. Eddie, I guess you know what you're doing after all.
Sure, he likes me a lot.
You know, Martin, Nigel's grown a lot since I last saw him, and Eddie's spoiling him. He spends more time with Nigel than any of the other snakes here.
So what are you guys doing about the landlord? Nothing we can do. Mom talked to him, and he promised us heat tomorrow. I'll believe it when I see it. If he fixes that, something else will break. Then we'll fight him again. What you guys need is a lawyer. My uncle's a lawyer. Maybe I'll talk to him. He'd do it for nothing. It'll have to be. Mom can't afford a lawyer. But I still have a problem with Nigel. I don't see how I can keep him. Why not? Well, my transfer to prep school came through, and I'll be leaving in a couple months.
Hey, that's great, Martin. That's what you always wanted, isn't it?
Yeah, but I can't take a snake to prep school. Why not? Besides, I have to find a permanent home for him. I'd like to find some place where I can visit him.
Well, I can't imagine you wanting him in a zoo. You know he's a pet, and I don't think he'd be very happy.
And then there's always Eddie.
Eddie? Eddie who?
Me. I'm Eddie. I mean, I could be a good father to Nigel.
You? A father?
Well, maybe more like a brother. But I know I could take good care of him. And I could go to Scott for advice. And I've been reading and learning and everything. And there's plenty of room for an aquarium. Besides, I love him.
That's the most important thing. I'd only give Nigel to someone who loves him.
You know, Martin, I think you should give Nigel to Eddie. He's been a friend for a long time, and I know he's going to take good care of him.
As long as you remember that I've got visiting rights forever, I'll let you adopt Nigel when the time comes.
Nigel, Nigel, yes, you'll see. We'll have lots of laughs together, you and me.
Hi, it's Woody. I've been thinking a lot. How do people decide what goes into their pot? One thing is money and what it can buy. You know, the cost of food can soar to the sky. But what you can afford is only a part. Because with imagination, cooking's an art.
Once upon a time in a faraway land, there was a poor couple who lived in a small cottage by the sea. Every day, the woman tended the vegetables and herbs in their garden, while her husband caught fish for their meals. Although they had very little, the couple used a great deal of imagination in preparing their meals, flavoring them with herbs and spices from the garden and salt taken from the sea.
My dear, you are the best cook in the land.
In another part of the land, far from the sea, was the palace of the queen. Every night, the lords and nobles from throughout the kingdom would feast at great banquets.
These dinners are all starting to taste the same to me. The queen chefs certainly do lack imagination.
Yes, it's a pity. All her wealth and all this food, yet it's all so tasteless.
The criticism of her guests troubled the queen deeply. The next morning, she sent for the royal scribe.
Let the word go out across the land. Whomsoever can bring flavor and imagination to the royal kitchens shall never want for anything again.
And so, a stream of messengers went out to every part of the land in search of the chef who could bring the art of imaginative cooking to the palace. Time passed, and one by one, they returned with nothing, except for the queen's two favorite messengers. They had ventured all the way to the sea.
Yes? My friend and I have been traveling for many days. We're exhausted. Not to mention starved. He hasn't let me stop to eat since the last village. Could you possibly sell us some food?
We were just about to have our dinner. We'd be glad to share what we have.
Wow.
Yahoo!
Yeah. Meanwhile, at the palace, the queen was despondent. Nothing any of her court jesters did could console her.
Food! A poor couple. Humble. Delicious.
So off went the queen in search of the couple's secret of good taste.
Arise, my subjects! I have heard reports from my messengers of the wondrous smells and tastes that emanate from your kitchen. I have come to see for myself if these tales are true.
The couple worked feverishly, using their herbs and spices in 100 different ways. And then came the moment for the queen to take her first bite.
Now let's see what those fussy dukes have to say. Friends, if you will give my chefs the secret of your kitchen, you shall have your heart's desire.
But the couple politely refused any reward. They explained that their secret was really no secret at all. They had simply learned to use what they had in new and different ways. The queen was so excited that she begged them to come live with her at the palace.
Thank you, Your Majesty, but...
We are content with our life here by the sea.
They gave the queen spices and salt to take back to the palace. She knew she had learned a valuable lesson, that all her money could not buy what the poor couple, through ingenuity and hard work, were able to give her.
Why don't you make a new friend, make a new friend, make a new friend today? Why don't you make a new friend, make a new friend, make a new friend today?
Hi, my name is Ofueko Kojo. My friends call me Ovi for short. I am 12 years old and live in Regal Park, New York. Right now, I'm on my way to play punch ball in Flushing Meadow Park. These are my best girlfriends. Gladys's family is from Haiti in the Caribbean islands. My Elle's family is from Central America. Beth's family is from Europe. And Karen's family is from Florida. My family is from Ghana in West Africa. My friends and I feel that we are like a mini United Nations, since we all come from so many different places. After we were all together, we had a race to see who would get to the punch ball field first. Last one to the field is a rotten egg. As soon as we got to the playing field, we chose up sides. The game was going fine until Gladys thought she tagged me out before I touched second base. My two teammates, Beth and Mayel, came to my defense, and then Karen, who was on Gladys's team, jumped in. After the game, I asked the girls to come home with me to have lunch, Ghanaian style. This is my mother. That's me serving the beef and peanut butter soup. Fufu, which is something like a dumpling, is usually made from cassava root. But my mother made these from mashed potato and potato starch. Then we all washed our hands for the next treat, the African etiquette of eating with our fingers. We had the fried plantain, which is sweet and tastes like fried banana, for dessert. When it was time to go, my mother and I taught my friends how to say Yaba, which means goodbye in Ga. Ga is one of the 7 main languages spoken in Ghana. Yaba.
What would you do if? How would you feel if? What would you do and how would you feel?
Are you going to go to Susan's birthday party tomorrow, Jenny? I don't know. Her parties are usually so fancy, and I don't have anything nice to wear. Well, that shouldn't stop you, Jenny. Susan won't care. But someone might laugh at my clothes. No, they won't. Doesn't matter what you wear anyway. It's what you are that counts. I know, Liz, but I wish I could get a new dress.
What would you do if you couldn't afford to buy something you wanted?
I would ask a friend to lend me the money.
I'd probably have to do without it. I'd ask my mom for the money. I would save up.
What would you do?
Why don't you make a new friend, make a new friend, make a new friend today? Why don't you make a new friend, make a new friend, make a new friend today?
would you do if you heard a duck say, "Leave us alone, can't you go away? You're not one of us, you're not our kind." If it happened to you, do you think you'd mind? Or what would you think if giraffes wouldn't eat with the other animals, 'cause they weren't as neat? Should the way someone looks or talks or eats decide who he talks to or who he meets? We should be glad that we're not all the same. If we were, we'd be playing a whole different game. We'd spend all our time trying to tell who is who, instead of us learning about me and you.